Alright, Shalawam, Shalawam. First and foremost, we'd like to give all the honor and praise and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh.
double honors to the elders and apostles of great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. This is the Gms Plaintables camp located in Delaware. Here to prophesy here with another week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom. Alright. And hey man, it's a lot going on right now, man. Multiple crises all around the world in different levels. So can we start with Luke 21:9?
Gone. So it says Luke 21. It says at 9. But when you should hear of wars, But when you should hear of wars and commotions, be ye not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
Yeah. So we're at the beginning of sorrows, right? And it's not just a war going on in the Middle East. It's multiple things happening, right? And we're going to continue to read, but what? We got pestilences, famines, right? Earthquakes all around, right? We got the economy getting worse and worse by the day, right? Can we read that again?
It says Luke 21:9. But when you should hear of wars and rumors, but when you should hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
Yeah, and people think that everything is all good, or everything is kind of gonna be a little bit better with the war because there was a so-called ceasefire agreement, which we know that I believe it was Thursday. Trump still hit Iran with airstrikes, calling it a love tap or whatever he called it. This is why you can't trust in the devil, right? The scriptures go into not to trust thine enemy, not to be ignorant of Satan's devices. So you cannot negotiate with this devil. You can't come to an agreement without him somehow trying to get the one up on you. You see? Keep reading.
It says Luke 21:10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Keep going.
It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places.
And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. People act like these prophecies aren't happening, man. There's an uptick in earthquakes all around, man. You see? But people don't keep watching this. They think just because, we have the internet and we're able to see news around the world that, it's just normal. It's just normal. No, it's an uptick. Things are getting worse and worse by the days go by, man. Keep going.
It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences.
And famines and pestilences. What's going on right now? People are going online complaining, saying that they can't afford anything, man. Beef prices is rising. Gas prices is rising. People ain't able to feed their families like they used to, right? You got these different airlines shutting down, man. Spirit Airlines. With Spirit Airlines, that was the more affordable option too. So with Spirit Airlines being closed, and these other airlines are feeling the effects of this too. These other airlines are struggling, right? Travel prices, flight prices are rising everywhere, man. And with that being said, the mirth is ceasing. You're not able to travel to Las Vegas and have a good time. Travel, women like to travel to Jamaica and DR and these other different Caribbean islands and things like that. That's all gonna be through a past thing, a thing of the past. So we're coming into a time where everything is gonna be a survival of the fittest, man, right? The scriptures go into the storehouses shall be empty. So it don't matter if you're in the city, it don't matter if you're in a rural area, it don't matter where you are throughout the US, right? Or really even the world, right? Because the Strait of Hormuz, it's not just affecting America, which is affecting America greatly, but it's also affecting the world, right? Because the Strait of Hormuz is responsible for about 20 to 30% of the world's energy, right? Just that part, and that war is affecting everything. You see? Read. Yeah.
Ultimately, there's a lot of Jake basically saying, oh, what does Iran have to do with me? What does that have to do with me? Hey, ultimately, it's gonna have to do with the food on your plate at the end of the day.
Yeah, your job.
Yeah, because we know, of course, the gas prices have been going up, and you got some Jake, they didn't even know why the gas prices are up. That's how asleep they are.
Right. Hey, we could probably get some article on that. I read an article. It was called Americans Are Happy with Trump's Economy of Choice. That was how it was worded. Trump's economy of choice. So these devils, this is what these devils are planning to do. These devils know that them continuing this war with Iran is affecting the American people. Now, the smart thing to do would be to pull back because they're seeing the effects of this war, but this is actually playing into their agenda. You see? And we can get Isaiah 31, we can come back to it, but we can get Isaiah 31 because this is, the Americans being affected like this. This is a result of them trusting in this system. Voted for Trump, voted for Harris, feeling like this place isn't their rest, right? This is the result of that. Shalawam. Shalawam. All right, but go ahead and read.
Gone. So it says Isaiah 31. It says Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah. So they were trusting in this system. This is why they're in the state that they're in, man. Voting for Trump, voting for Harris, right? But now look at this economy, And again, as I, just said, I did a lesson on I did a lesson on this article, and the article was Americans are unhappy with Trump's economy of choice. You see? So the smart thing for Trump to do, instead of keep going back and forth with Iran, is to pull back and make negotiation. But that's not the spirit of this devil. That's not what this devil wants. All right. What's prophesied is there's going to be an economic collapse. So these people that can't afford beef, that is going to the grocery store, seeing deli meat, can't afford deli meat. $25, 30 plus for a pack of deli meat. It's going to get worse and worse. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, the food is. How long has the food been dead too?
Yeah.
They got that's processed anyway.
God.
And it's probably been dead for like a month probably.
Yeah.
By the time they get to you, it gets processed, put chemical preservatives in it. Because all meat, once you kill it, it starts to decompose. So to put it on the shelf, they gotta color it. You got to put some type of chemical in it to preserve the color and to preserve the rot, make sure it doesn't rot or collect fungus and bacteria that cause decay. Because the normal food, after a couple of days or a week, it starts to degrade and collect fungus and everything. But a lot of food, like if you go to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, they've done experiments on it. Independent people, just like they'll get a McDonald's fries or sandwich or Chick-fil-A, and they'll store it for a long time, and many of the times they won't even collect any fungus or bacteria. It'll just be dehydrated. And that's not food. You're eating pretty much laboratory meat or chemically altered meat. Right.
And even that food is rising. The Big Macs are a few more dollars than they used to be.
Yeah, because people want more money for the same product.
Yep.
They want more money for the same product. That's why you have inflation. The government sets a price, and then people they want more money for the same product and service. So inflation is man-made.
Right.
Based upon people, businesses, and the government wanting more money for the same product and service, and supply and demand. So those things together create. Makes it so it takes more of the same dollars to get the same good or service.
Yeah. And really nobody should be out here, hungry, looking for food. It shouldn't be a hunger crisis because, a lot of these different restaurants, with when they are pretty much done cooking the food, Esau, he makes them throw the food away, like the remnants of food that's left. They make them throw them away instead of just giving them to the poor, the less fortunate, right? Go ahead.
Yep. It says Isaiah, or I have some news on. It says Strait of Hormuz plus Trump economy news. It says Hormuz is still a pressure point. Around 20% of global oil and major LNG flows depend on that narrow passage. When it slows, energy prices move fast. It says oil prices jumped again after renewed U.S.-Iran fire in the Strait. Brent reportedly rose sharply during volatile trading, with some reports showing it near above $100 per barrel.
Man, and that's Brent, it's affecting people's ability to travel to point A to point B. It's affecting the airlines, right? Again, Spirit Airlines being closed, all these different airlines being affected, right? Travel prices going up, so the mirth of this place is completely ceasing, right? People don't even talk about it, but tomorrow is Mother's Day. Nobody's worried about Mother's Day, man. People can't afford to buy Mother's Day gifts and shit like that, man. So the mirth of this place is completely ceasing. People are mourning, coming online, complaining.
They're driving and they're what the government's doing, the bankers, business owners, what they're doing is they're taking the wealth out of your pocket and transferring it to them. So they're using the same amount of dollars it costs for the same product. They want more dollars for it. So basically it's transfer of wealth. They taking all your money. They're going to make you poor. They're going to squeeze you to a position where you're going to offer a solution, which we believe that's going to be the microchip.
Right.
Be a solution to a lot of the financial issues. But they just transfer wealth. This is just a game. Like rich people don't. This is a game that like prices going up. Like they set the prices. The government and the business owners the big business owners set the prices. They want more dollars for the same product and services, right?
Yeah, God, and that's what's going to happen, right? Because they're going to completely do away with the middle class. It's going to be the poor, and then you're going to have the elite rich. And for you to be able to come back into society, buy and sell, eat, right? For you to be able to have these different conveniences, you're going to have to be ushered in to the new system. That's what they want. That's the ultimate goal that they have, right? Go ahead.
It says Trump's economic problem, his strategy needs military pressure without creating a long oil shock. If Hormuz stays disrupted, it hits gas prices, shipping, inflation, airlines, trucking, groceries, and consumer confidence.
Everything. Trucking. What is trucking? Trucking is responsible for taking your goods from point A to point B. That's what these trucks do. From food, right, to steel manufacturing. All these different things that trucking hauls. The trucks ain't gonna be able to move. All right.
Yeah, these massive ships that are transporting these goods.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to move either.
Yeah. What about when these ships, when these last ships, stop coming, from the over there from the Middle East and such, things.
57% reduction. 57% reduction in production of Gulf oil. Less than half of the production is down. So if the production is down, then they believe they want more money for the same product. So they want more money for the same product. That's buying and selling. That's how business owners think. Even though they don't have to change the price, this is ancient. This is not something new. So they want more money for the same product.
God.
They want either more gold, more silver, more salt, more animals for finished goods. Or in this raw petroleum. 57% down. Pre-April. Pre-April, it was that's whatever production they were at. After April, it dropped 57%. It probably was gradual.
Okay.
It didn't start out 57%. Reduction in production, but it decreased by 57%.
Yeah.
So, are they making more money? You gotta look at it. You gotta look more into it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put our sales down see. Sales down. Production and sales can be different.
Yep.
So, it depends on whether you're asking about regional output from the Persian Gulf or Grand region. I'm talking about sales of Gulf oil. Says Ryder Sales. Are sales up or down after April 2026? I'm trying to give you a different answer. As of early May 2026, Gulf oil lubricants, no, not oil. Petroleum, not finished products. All right, so it's down. As of May 2026, and this is the aggregate of information collected from this computer software, it says as of May 2026, sales of petroleum crude from Persian Gulf are significantly down. While global demand remains high, the physical ability to export crude in the region has collapsed. I'll look into more information.
God. All right, you got more on that article?
Yeah, it says the global impact is already visible it says China's April energy imports dropped hard because Middle East shipments were disrupted, showing the choke point is no longer just a military issue. It is hitting real trade flows. It says strategic trap. Iran can hurt the global economy by squeezing Hormuz, but Iran also bleeds revenue if oil exports stay blocked. The U.S. can pressure Iran militarily, but cannot absorb endless price spikes without domestic political costs. Yeah, so it says bottom line, Hormuz is where war becomes economics. Trump can look strong militarily, but if oil stays high and shipping remains unstable, the cost lands on households and businesses fast. So there you have it.
So it's affecting the whole world, not even just Americans.
I got some numbers here.
Okay.
It says petroleum sales, 25 million barrels per day, down to 9.7 barrels per day. So they are making less. They're making less money.
Right.
Not just about production, but actual sales. But you can drop production, even though they're gonna want more money, even if production drops. But the actual sales is actually down by 50% or 60%.
Yeah.
So they're actually making less money.
God. So they're making less money. So we're seeing.
Yeah, but they're not even real Muslims either. Those
God, yeah.
The Gulf people, those UAE, they apparently left the OPEC, right? UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Arabia, they're freaks. They're free. They care about money. They care about making money with Esau, the so-called white man.
Right.
Even though, they don't believe in that damn religion. First of all, they're friends. They're in business with infidels and unbelievers that harbor is so-called Jays. So how can they really believe in their religion? Ain't supposed to have like kind of jihad or something like that on a devil that's not supposed to be there? But they're concerned about business.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. It's all
Money.
Money.
The love
business.
of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
The love of money, not money itself. The love of money is the root of all evil. All right. So they can be fake ass Muslims, because this is a bullshit religion anyway. But they can be fake Muslims and get a pass because they're dealing with the devil.
God. And eventually, they're gonna completely turn on Esau, because they're growing increasingly frustrated with Esau because of what's going on over there you know, messing up their business, messing up their, infrastructure, right? Because these different attacks that Iran is doing, it, you know, they're doing it on these different, on the terrain of these different Gulf states as well. You see?
They the ones that's mostly getting attacked.
Yeah, God.
And they said UAE left OPEC, Oil Producing Nation Organization. So that's just probably just theater anyway.
Yep.
Because what they're going to set the oil at? They're going to set the oil cheaper? Like, what are they selling their fucking oil at?
Right.
So if they left, what does that mean? Are they selling the oil at a different price than everybody else selling it? I'll look it up. But a lot of this theater, what Yahweh Shai said, when you should sell she wars and commotions.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the spirit. We read that too. Yep.
Wars and commotions.
Yeah. Yep. We can get it again.
And you know, people leaving an organization could be just simply theater. I think Zion coming. I think.
It says, Luke. Yeah, Luke 21 and 9. It says, but when you hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
Yeah, look up commotions. So we still got prophecy to go through. We still got suffering to go through. The scripture said that through much suffering shall we enter into the kingdom, if we paraphrase it.
Yep.
So we got to deal with wherever we come.
Right. Yeah, we gotta, you know, deal with these times. You know, Isaiah 33:6, right? Our temptation, Jacob's trouble. These are things that, you know, the elect is going to have to go through, right? To prove that, everybody has to go through, right? But you know, the main point, right? The elect has to be tried in that situation as well, because you got, you know, Christians thinking that it's not going to be a time of tribulation. It's just going to be a rapture, and then everybody else is, you know, just going to be catching hell. No, you know, it's going to be a time where, hey, everybody during that time, it's going to be known who's with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and who's not. And the Lord is only dealing with an elect remnant. See? Go ahead.
So it says the Greek word for commotions is akatasia. Instability. So for commotions, instability, a state of disorder. It says disturbance, confusion.
There you go. That's
disturbance,
all of that.
Disorder,
confusion, you know. Esau, you know, violating the ceasefire, saying it's still in effect. You know, it's the devil.
Yeah, what it says about the rust in Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus, is rust, see it together, his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, I mean, again, the nations know that. It's just they just living out the example. All right, those are the scriptures coming to life, consistently showing you. With the tribe of Gad and Reuben, Issachar, these things have already been proven. Yep. Rust represents his sin, his lies and deception.
Yeah.
Right, they had a term called Indian giver. All right, and that was Esau, given to the tribe of Gad, and breaking his promises.
Yeah.
Right? Which was stupid to even believe it as anyway. You know, but that was the destiny, that was the manifest destiny Esau talks about.
Right.
It was to take Gad down. Gad could not exist in America, so-called America, New Babylon, New Canaan, all right, and Esau together. One had to overtake the other. It tells you about, give me the prophecy in Genesis 49. Give me that right now. All right. So Gad had to be taken down. Gad had to be slaughtered, put out, so Esau could rise. And then give me Jacob, the explanation of the Jacob's hill, Esau's hill, 6 and 9, I believe, somewhere around there.
Second Ezra 6 and 9. Yeah.
Gone.
Go to the first verse first.
Gone.
And then go down to Gad.
It says Genesis 49 and 1. It says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. So going down to verse 19. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
He shall overcome at the last. The troop is what? Esau's army.
Right.
All right. His weapons, his horsemen, his Gatling guns, his machine guns. The reason why the Lord gave him that power so Gad could go down as a nation, because these two powers couldn't exist, because there was too much evidence that Gad was one of the tribes of Israel. So we had to, the curse had to overtake the tribe of Gad. All right. So all the tribes slowly, the curses overtook us. All right. Artifacts were hidden and buried, and now they're obscure. And Esau put his own education, his own doctrines, teachings over covered it up, literally covered the truth up. So now through the scriptures and the Holy Spirit, we able to go in like to the earth and find things out that Esau hid. Like you got the different stones, like the large lunar stone is one of them, which was Paleo-Hebrew, which means old Hebrew. It's different variations of Hebrew, but in a certain time period, the tribes over here were using a certain writing system. All right, and that was what was discovered, and that's what piece of evidence that Gad is one of the tribes of Israel. And overall, well, you got the book James there, but overall, it tells you that Gad came to the New World, all right, through in the Assyrian captivity.
Right.
More than likely during the time that the Assyrian Empire was on a decline. All right, and we'll figure out the mystery. Whether Yahushua going to give us the mystery, but the Assyrian Empire was on a decline, and the Northern Kingdom escaped. It was a great escape. It tells you they went through the Euphrates River, and they escaped. More than likely south and went around Africa. Probably stopped along different routes in Africa. Well, they would have to stop. I don't think you could take their journey, a direct journey to the New World. So they stopped in Africa, and like West Africa, where you had other tribes of Israel at, or other known posts of heathen nations, and they refueled and they went across the Atlantic.
Yep.
Right? But the tribe of Gad is not originally from the soil of Babylon, America,
right,
or Issachar, or Reuben, all right, all of them. The whole New World, so to speak, is not original inhabitants. There was nobody here. All right? They were all over in the east, right, in Asia, so to speak. All right? So that's the prophecy of the troop. The troop are the American military force that slaughtered Gad, all right, and abolished a lot of their culture. All right? And so much that it's even hard that they had a writing system that you don't even know that the Gad even has a writing system. All right? That's how perfect Esau's destruction was. All right? You'd have to point back to Hebrew.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, I believe Cristobal Colon, when he came, he needed Hebrew interpreters, right?
Right.
And so I believe he even had a clue that they were actually the Israelites, according to the Bible, But Esau, of course, he's going to cover it up.
Because one of Esau's things he does to say that you're not civilized, say you don't have a writing system.
Right.
All right. So you're not civil, you don't have a writing system, you don't have a way of communicating outside of words. It's the so-called symbols. That's the hierarchy of intelligence Esau uses to gauge whether you're fucking stupid or not. So. He had a lot to pay for. Look, if he can, devil at it. If he can cover this up, fucking piece of shit. If he can make the world thinks this is the Messiah, he can cover up whether you had a writing system or not. He can totally get rid of it, or break it up so much it's in pieces. You don't know what it means, right? If he can make you think that this motherfucker is the Messiah, he can cover up whether you had a writing system or not. For hundreds of years, oppression, totally destroying artifacts, hoarding information, putting them in secret vaults. You know? If he can make this motherfucker come to life in 1400s, 1300s, right? He can do the same thing with your culture. All right? Go ahead.
Yep. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
Genesis 27, Isaac blessing to Esau.
Yep. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
You mean Esau is going to be ruling during the end? Okay, so if Esau is ruling during the end, that means the so-called white man has to be the Edomites. Can't be the Arabs, can't be the Chinese. All right, has to be the United States. In so much that they have their own people, have Moabites manufacturing microchips for America.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be manufacturing their damn microchips for fucking China? They're fucking Moabites. All that AI stuff come out of that TSMC company. You remember the company I'm talking about? Is that in Taiwan, I believe?
Yeah, Taiwan.
Yeah, TSMC. They should be fueling AI for China. Why the fuck are they fueling AI for Western countries? Because Moab is not ruling the world. Esau, Edom is running the world. So we know that Esau has to be 100%, absolutely. There's no doubt that there's only one group of people on the earth that runs the world.
Yep.
Esau does it through the technology, through the waters, through cyberspace, through the air. That's how Esau runs the world, and through doctrine. But
It says Genesis 27 and 38. It says, And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Well, in fact, give me Jacob's blessing first.
Gone. It says Genesis 27 and...
Because Jacob supplanted Esau. All right. He got him the venison, I believe, right? It was deer meat, I believe.
God.
And he put rough garments on because Esau was hairy.
Right.
So he thought it was Esau. And he got him the venison. I don't know how he ended up getting it. Maybe he paid somebody. Jacob wasn't a hunter. Or maybe he became a hunter that day. Or the Lord delivered the deer into his hand.
Yeah.
Right. But he got the venison and put the rough garment on and deceived Isaac. And then Jacob got the blessing, because Jacob means supplanter. What?
Gone. It says Genesis 27 and 18. And he came unto his father and said, My father, my father, and he said, Here am I, who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I'm Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou biddest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord Yahweh thy power brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice of Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
So you could hear it. Okay. All right.
And he discerned, so verse 23, it says, And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and he blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which the Lord Yahweh hath blessed. Therefore the Most High give thee the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
And so he's given the kingdom of heaven. He's given the earth, the dominion over the whole earth. So all the nations was going to serve Jacob, right? Even though he believed that he was Esau. Right? Because the firstborn is supposed to technically get the blessing. Even though Esau before that sold his birthright.
Right.
Right? I believe in the 26th chapter.
Cursed be continue on verse 29. It says, Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
Yeah, so that's how you know that they were really spiritual. All right, without any written text, Isaac was highly spiritual. To make that's a huge claim to say to someone. All right, so obviously Isaac was in communication with the Father and with angels to be able to make those statements like that, actual blessings like that, and for them to actually take effect in the future. So that was a highly spiritual moment that Isaac. So Isaac was greater than Abraham. All right, Isaac was greater. Then when Jacob received his blessing under the disguise of Esau, all right, Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Give me Esau. So basically, Jacob's blessing describes the kingdom of heaven. All nations serving Jacob. Esau, Edom, right now believes that's his blessing. It's not your blessing. Your blessing was given to Jacob. It was our rightful blessing. All right, it was our rightful blessing. All right, you didn't trick the Most High. All right, you deceived Isaac in the flesh, but you didn't trick the Most High. If you tricked the Most High Yahweh would have just overturned it. You know, it's like, oh, you tricked me, so now I got to go through with it. No, that was manifest destiny. All right. What happened with Jacob was manifest destiny. That's why Esau said the same thing about Gad. It was manifest destiny. And he was actually right. All right. We have more, what Scripture said, we have a spiritual body and a natural body. Corinthians 15th chapter. We existed before the flesh. And the kingdom is going to come. You're just not going to just kill us forever. And we're not going to rise up with a body that can't be destroyed. Okay? Soon we're going to get bodies that cannot suffer hurt or damage. Alright? We're going to get the power of Elijah. Give me the multiplying the oil. Find that, I believe that was Elisha. Oil multiply. Those things I talked about in the previous video, those things are going to happen again. Because if we don't have sufficient, and all the food is poison anyway. Alright? We dead food have been dead for months. Food coloring, dyes, the air is bad, the soil is bad. All right. For production, we got to use manure. You know, for fruits that grow, you know, without any predators. You know, like nature doesn't really need manure, but for fruit production, I believe to yield more, you need some type of fertilizer to yield for higher yields. This is like a science to it. But you technically don't have to use like manure, but I believe for like higher yield increases, the minerals that are in the manure help the food either grow faster or more abundance. It's a science to it. But the earth is cursed. Yeah, when we were in the garden, you think they were putting fucking manure in the damn ground? I don't believe so. You know, fruit that just grew.
Yeah, it just
grew. You can eat it. You know, they have fruit that tastes like ice cream. They have fruit that tastes like steak, or like I heard not steak, not fruit, mushrooms, lion's mane. I saw this guy make it. He said it tastes like steak. It was a fruit that tastes like ice cream. Like, so, Esau basically he steals the earth, the natural flavors, and then just recreates it in other stuff. You know, that's the devil. And then they create, you know, chemicals that mimic the effects of herbs and patent it, and then get you, you know, hooked on it. You know, you gotta take it forever. You know. And we basically, our bodies are break down. We gotta take the food, the herbs, to bring us back to our natural state. The natural state is peace, perfection. All right. So when we take the herbs, we basically just reversing back to our natural state. All right. And it's food, you know. And what are we about to get?
Multiply oil.
Multiply the oil. Yeah, the oil multiply. This is one of the most impactful precepts to me that I've ever read. All right. This story, was it Elisha or Elijah? Was it Elisha? Elisha, yeah. Elisha did more works than Elijah. Well, that's written about anyway. Elisha he got some mighty works. He was plowing 12 yoke of oxen, I believe, and he became a prophet under Elijah immediately. You know, and again, highly spiritual people. Highly spiritual. How you know you're telling the truth? These guys don't have the Spirit. You don't have the Holy Spirit. How you know I'm telling which camp to follow? You don't have the Holy Spirit. You got to ask for the Holy Spirit before you talk about what camp to follow. You putting the cart before the horse. You need to ask for the Holy Spirit. Right? You don't go with some purple people. They say the name of the Lord is Christ. You guys are crazy, effing crazy. Then you got another group saying that the West Africans are not Israelites. Like, you guys are insane.
Yeah. Samoans are what, Naphtali, you know?
Yeah, then you got
Fiji.
yeah, bringing other nations into the fold. Amongst the Samoans, you have Israelites, but they're you can't look at the whole group and say, oh, they're Israelites. You can look at West Africans and say, okay, the majority of them are more than likely Israelites. You can't look at all the Samoans and say, oh, they're more than likely Israelites. You can't do that. All right. All right, go ahead.
It says 2 Kings chapter 4 and 1. It says, now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, thy servant my husband is dead.
Sons of the prophets, the wife. So it's a widow. It's a widow, right?
Yeah, widow.
Yeah, so he might have been killed, or he might have died of old age, or died of a sickness. It doesn't say, but she was a widow of a prophet. Good. So that proves that there were more than the Bible mainly only speaks about like prophets that the Lord wanted to speak about. Others are hidden. All right. And the fact that we have 144,000 in the book of Revelation proves that there were thousands, hundreds of thousands of prophets. All right. But only certain ones were actually talked about and recorded in the scriptures. Like even amongst the 12, most of them are not even talked about, even though they have mighty works and great deeds and acts and showing incredible power, but they weren't even written about. Right?
It says 2 Kings 4 and 1. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, thy servant my husband is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord Yahweh. And the creditor...
Well, we're getting our time right now. We're going to get our time. So we weren't written about Yahweh back then. We're going to get talked about, written about, and recorded now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're physically they're going to record us. Yahweh Shai Ratazah doing those mighty acts.
Yeah, because even the scriptures say it. It's not even going to be really talked about how we were delivered out of Egypt, but out of Babylon. Because that's going to be a way greater deliverance.
Yep. Escape from Babylon. What?
It says, and the creditor is come to take unto him my 2 sons to be bondmen.
Yep, business owner. All right. He wants to lend it out. She lend it out. It doesn't say what she borrowed, right? It doesn't say what she borrowed. But the creditors come. They don't say, I believe, say what she borrows. But she ends up, the oil gets multiplied, and she sells the oil for money.
Yeah.
I'm sure at an inflated price too. Or maybe she knew it, maybe not say sure. She might have sold it at price. Because you remember, you don't have to sell it at an inflated price because of demand. You choose to do that. All right. Go ahead.
It says 2 Kings 4:2. And Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, thine handmaid hath not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Then he said, go borrow thee vessels abroad from, it says, of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. It says, and when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee, and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full.
Yeah, read that again.
Gone. It says 2 Kings chapter 4:4.
She said she had oil. What she said she had. So what is in that house?
Yeah, so save a pot of oil.
She has a pot of oil, maybe actual pressed olive oil, not a Dutch mixed with other oils or chemicals to preserve it. Remember, back then you didn't have organic and non-organic. Back then, you just had you grew out of the earth, and everything was food. It was actual whole food, minimally not processed. You process it yourself, and that was with salt. Or process means you take it from the original form to anything else. So that chopping it up, that's a process. All right. Now what Esau does, he chops it up and then put chemicals in it to preserve it. All right. That's why we get so sick. All right. That's why we have rashes and colds, because of the process and because of the air and demonic spirits. Like the air is fucked up. Air is fucking you up. The water's fucking you up. The filter got parasites in the damn water. Fluoride in the water. You gotta get a filter. If you don't got a filter, try getting a filter. Hard water. You see that green film filming around certain faucets. All right. So you can get a filter for your shower. Get a filter for your shower. All right? So we're gonna have to have this power. All right. Because Yahweh Shai could lead us to a food store, or he can give us this power here. Oh, remember the breaking of the bread. Give me that. The bread and the fish. That was multiplied. These are miracles that we're going to have. Well, we had it back then. Remember, this is the last time, so this time is going to be amazing. The way we survive this persecution is going to be amazing. It's going to be like nothing else we ever experienced. Why? Because the scriptures say in Daniel 12th chapter, there's a time of trouble that was never like it. So that means how the Lord going to secure us is going to be like nothing else our ancestors ever experienced, that we ever experienced in our past life. What?
It says 2 Kings chapter 4:2. And Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, thine handmaid hath not anything in the house, save a pot of oil.
Pot of oil. What?
Then he said, go borrow thee vessels abroad from all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, it's like it says, and when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him and shut the door. Or yeah, well, it's like it says, so she went from him and shut the door. upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed.
And the oil stayed. So that was an infinite supply of oil out of one container. All right. Go ahead.
Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, Go sell the oil, and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest.
All right, so that's known as the oil multiplied. All right, so that oil didn't fail until the Lord wanted it to fail. But that was an example of spiritual power, that the oil never failed. That was an infinite supply, infinite well of oil out of one container. And one container made many. We probably could have made 50 or 60 containers. All right, that was a miracle. All right, so we don't have to worry about food. So knowing these things, then it talks about the ravens feeding Elijah also in previous books and chapters. We don't have to worry about food. We just got to worry about our faith and holding our integrity, not to resist, not to take the chip, to resist the chip, to resist the new currency, the new medium. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. All right, to resist, meaning reject it. All right, that new system. All right, which is the implantable microchip. All right. Was that it? Yeah. All right, go to Yahushua, multiplying the bread and fish example.
Yep. So this is the book of Matthew 14, and I'll start at 13. It says, When Yahushua heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities. And Yahushua went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion toward them, and healed their sick. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. But Yahushua said unto them, They need not depart, give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes.
5, so this is giving you exact numbers.
Yep.
It don't give you the numbers of the multitude, but it gives you the numbers of the bread. So 5 loaves and 2 fish. Remember, these were not polluted with mercury. This wasn't hybridized wheat or rye, whatever base they were using. This wasn't wheat and rye that was contaminated with pesticides. And you can't get pesticides off of food by washing it. It soaks in to the active fabric of the fruit or vegetable. All right.
I mean, not in this.
Good.
Now, verse 18, he said, Bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full.
So fabrics that remained were 12 baskets full. So it was probably a couple of 100 people, or it could have been 1,000 people.
Yeah, it goes into it.
Oh, no.
Yep. Verse 21, it says, And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children.
So that was a lot. 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Non-hybridized, non-GMO, wheat or rye, whatever they were using. All right. Whatever basic was, and it multiplied. So that, again, that's a notable miracle. All right. The hour of temptation. Esau Edom, his plan is to put the populations in a situation of stress, pressure from above, pressure from below, so that we have to depend on the government for food, for slop. For as seen in the Matrix, they showed, but the paste they were eating on the ship, it was like a paste, and he said how it had all the vitamins and minerals in it. Those synthetic vitamins, meaning that you combine chemicals together that mimic the abilities of the different vitamins. All right, synthetic vitamins. All right. Yahweh Shai said, give me through Ezekiel 4 and 3, that 4th chapter. Eat the bread defiled among the Gentiles.
I think is that 3?
4th chapter.
Okay, let's see.
And like 10 or something like that. 4. Start from like a few verses out. Basically, he told Ezekiel to eat shit. All right. And then that cometh from man. All right. So he said, I've never ate Shalawam anything that cometh defiled from man. He said, take man's dung, take cow, take cow's dung for man's dung. So switch it around. Don't do man's feces, do animal feces. Thus, not eat the church bread defiled among the Gentiles. All right. So, the food that we eat is polluted, and Yahweh Shai also said that we should drink poison to live. All right. So, still, that doesn't give you an excuse to eat like crap.
Right.
Because as you get older, that's gonna catch up to you. It's gonna start fucking you up.
Right.
So you gotta take care of yourself to choose the lesser of the evils, you know, or at least incorporate the high fiber content like beans into your diet. A lot of them too.
There's a popcorn brand called Lesser Evil.
Lesser evil.
Yeah. Tell you,
Is it GMO?
Yeah, non-GMO.
Non-GMO.
It's actually a pretty good brand of popcorn.
All right, go ahead.
Yep. So this is the book of Ezekiel 4 and 9, and it says, "Take thou also unto the wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches."
Remember, these are no pesticides, which means killing insects. Kill insects. So it definitely is going to have. If it don't have an effect, it only affects insects. It'll affect you in some way. But then, 20 years later, you wonder why you got cancer. Wonder why you're losing your eyesight. Well, because you can't prove it that it's not harmful to humans when you're 20. So they say it's legal. They can put it in the. You know how many foods are banned out of overseas? Look that up. See how many foods are banned in Europe. American foods that are banned in Europe, in different countries. To get a rough statistic, it don't got to be a rough stat.
How many foods are banned overseas?
Yeah, for American products, American food products. Product is they produce it, not from the earth, but they change the state of it, process it, and add chemicals. All right. That should be akin to murder, but it's legal, right? But
God. Ezekiel 4 and 9, "Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof, and thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it."
It was said that Yahweh Shai's body was buried in earth. He rose on the 3rd day. So after the 3rd day, his body would start to stink, right? He started to decompose after the 3rd day. But he was resurrected before his body started to decompose. So that means flesh decomposes in about 3 days. So, so when we eat food in the store, if that food wasn't killed within 3 days, we know they did something to it to bring the life beyond 3 days. All right? Just saying. So all the food is fucked up. The food that we're eating is fucked up. You say yeah.
Oh, no, I got something.
You got something? Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we just read. Well, you about to read? You know, food. I'm explaining a lot. I want you to understand. All right. So the food that we're eating is defiled. We can look up the word defiled too. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 11. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin, from time to time shalt thou drink, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight.
I guess it's like rice, and then you have like the beans and the lentils on top of it. The dung is like the rice, but together into a cake. And this is man's dung. Right?
Verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among...
Well, he already switched it over to cow's dung. But go ahead, at this point. Go ahead.
Yep, verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them.
Yeah. America, Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, Africa, Europe, eating that defiled bread defiled among the Gentiles. Right? And even if you go to Europe and try to Africa where the food in Asia where food better, it's still defiled. All right, because the air is polluted and the soil is polluted. It's not at its full strength. Again, you have fruit that tastes like ice cream, mushrooms that apparently taste like steak and chicken. You know, actual fruit, but we don't know about it. A lot of them are tropical fruits. All right, tropical fruits that you can actually eat. All right, and animals that haven't been adulterated. All right, but again, then again, everything is still defiled. We just had to pick the lesser of the evils. All right, when you get sick, just pay attention to what you've been eating. Just catalog it. You've been eating this, and that. You kind of feel weird after it. Well, that's because what you ate probably going through a process.
Yep.
All right. And when you're sick, you have to eliminate. When you're really sick, you got to eliminate, and then add. If you're somewhat sick, you can kind of just add it to it. But if you're at a state where you're about to get really, really sick or contract some kind of disorder or disease, you have to start eliminating, especially meat. You got to go vegan for a while, all right? And all the meat that you get, it's been dead more than 3 days. So, well, I mean, not all. I'm not a butcher expert, but if you had it more than 3 days, they definitely had to do something to keep it alive because it's going to start to stink after 3 days, after a couple days. So that's you slaughtering it right there, and it's still bad, you know. And then chicken, the chicken is they say chicken is worse than pork, but you ain't supposed to eat pork anyway. That's not it's not a clean animal. All right. Now you can get free range and all that, but those are gonna be more expensive. Just bless the food and eat the best you can, or I guess don't think about it, and keep your fiber high. Right? But when Esau, bring that chip out and then try to push you to eat some type of fucking paste or MRE, meal ready to eat, I think that's during the time where it started to switch over from like organic to what we got now. Is during the one of the wars. Because before then, you didn't have like refrigerators. I think in World War I don't think you had refrigerators. Then I think when they invented that process for refrigeration, or discovered it, I should say, and put it together. That's when they started to preserve foods. Started to develop, like science started to develop chemicals to put in food to make it last longer. I think it probably started in the military, to get food out to soldiers. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 14. Then said I, Lord Yahweh, behold, my soul hath not been polluted, for from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another.
Yeah, famine. Y'all try to talk about a famine, and they had to reduce the quality of eating. All right, basically, say you're gonna make you eat like shit. That was gonna be the punishment. All right. And why? Because what the farms got co-opted by another nation. So that's the way to control the population is first to attack their food supply, right? Or bring in a famine.
Right.
So one of the two happened, or both happened. Well, when the Babylonians came, yeah, they had large acres and acres of farms, you know, flesh and fruit and vegetables. So when the army marched on you, they marched into the fields and then hold the fields. So you would have to either meet them with the army and had a battle up there to protect your farmland. So when the Babylonians came, when the Assyrians came, Babylonians came, that's an easy way to besiege a city is to attack their food. Yeah. Go ahead. That was it?
Yeah, that was the last, 17. I'll just read it. That they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity.
Consume away, yeah. So their farms got co-opted, and or Yahushua called for a famine. Foods.
So, numerous American foods are restricted or banned in other countries, particularly in the European Union, UK, Japan, and Australia, due to their strict regulations on synthetic dyes preserving the growth hormones. Some examples, major examples, include Mountain Dew, Fruit Loops, stovetop stuffing, many U.S. dairy/meat products containing artificial additives like BBO, BHT, or RBGH, which I believe is a growth hormone. Ritz crackers and Pillsbury products restricted or banned in parts of Europe due to trans fat and dough conditions like arzodidicum.
I heard Pringles wasn't even really chips.
Oh yeah, that's.
It's like a powder or something.
Yeah.
Pressed together. Somebody look that up. Fact check.
Yeah, I don't know how to say this word, but it's crazy. Like, they say that, right? If you can't read the instruction, or if you can't read the ingredients, you know what the fuck really is it?
It's a laboratory. Made in the laboratory. Scientists put it together. Food scientists. But the food scientists shouldn't be in a fucking laboratory.
Yep. U.S. meat and dairy, hormone-grown beef, pork treated with ractopamine, and milk containing RBGH or RBST, which is synthetic growth hormone, are banned in the EU and Canada. Skittles and M&Ms because of the dyes, like yellow 5, yellow 6, red 40, are linked to hyperactivity and allergies.
You'll be surprised if you travel to the UK how many brands that they don't actually have, or even like you eat fast food at McDonald's or anything like that, the burgers taste different, you know.
Man, yeah. So those foods are killing you.
God, yep.
So don't make it a habit. And if you did, you know, I'm guilty of that. So you got to get off that wagon and
you just try to do better. Yep.
Learn to suffer a little bit. Yeah. Incorporate and then eliminate.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of times you'll have to eliminate it altogether because Esau puts them addicting chemicals in it to make you keep coming back and having them cravings for it. Yeah. So the goal really is to try to eliminate the craving as much as
bananas,
possible.
I mean, are seasoned, but when the last y'all bought bananas?
Yeah.
Do they got seeds in them?
Nah, bananas.
I mean,
they're
I
supposed
think they're like
to.
super small. Like you can't even like micro seeds.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be that small, right?
No, they're supposed to be big. Like
yeah.
The regular ones, not the organic ones.
Yeah.
I haven't bought bananas in a while, so I don't remember paying attention to them. Yeah, season them.
Yeah,
they're just super small. Like you literally can't even see it.
If I'm not mistaken, the original bananas actually have like visible seeds in them. Yeah, they actually have that you can see. Like, yeah.
I think, what is it, Genesis 1 and 29? Is that 1 and 29? The Genesis?
What's that about that?
Yeah. It says, yes, bananas have tiny, undeveloped seeds. It says, that's it. Yeah, it says modern grocery bananas are mostly seedless because they are grown by cloning from shoots, not from seeds. But technically they still do have seeds, but it's
It
like
depends on what brand you get.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is what bananas
Chiquita
are
is basically the most popular in America,
really
right?
supposed
Chiquita?
to look like.
yeah, that's
Yeah, those are wild
Yeah,
bananas,
those
right?
are real, yeah.
Yeah, so we basically eating hybridized, those. Hey. Thus shall the children of Israel eat defiled bread amongst the Gentiles. And of course, they can't prove it has no effect on you immediately. But then when you get sick, you can't, we don't know. We don't know why you got sick. We don't know why you got a cold, why you got a runny nose. Well, the air is fucking demonic. The soil is demonic. It's evil. All right? And then we got the food scientists actually altering the genetics of the fruit and vegetable.
Yeah.
You know, they got the peppers. You know, you can eat a pepper. A pepper has more vitamin C than an orange, or at least equivalent. You know, but they produce they advertise oranges being the vitamin C king. You eat a whole pepper. Just wash it off and you bite it like eat it like an apple.
Yep.
I do it not all the time. I thought of recently doing it again. But I used to do it all the time. Now I just buy it like $2.
Well, stuffed pepper is a good little meal too. Just put some ground beef in pepper, stuffed pepper. Heat that up.
Inside of it? Or
Yeah,
just cut it up and just eat it?
Yeah, stuffed pepper, yeah. A little dish, some ground beef, some cheese, some pepper.
Well, green is the least developed.
Oh yeah.
The least developed. You pick that first. I think the red is the most developed. If I'm not mistaken. It goes through the different colors. From the American pepper, where it come from? It might come from Mexico actually. But a lot of our food come from Mexico and other countries. So
Yeah, red being the sweetest.
yeah, I think it's left on the vine the longest. So it's naturally, I think it's going to have more. It's going to have more nutrition if it's on there.
They say that too. A lot of times when you get your fresh fruits, they pick that stuff early, and then it ripens over time rather than being ripened on, the plant or the.
Because the life cycle.
Yeah.
They want to preserve the life cycle.
Yeah. So if you pick it more closer to its ripe cycle, it has more benefits. But then the shelf life is a lot less. So they'll pull that shit early, and then ripen it over time. Well, it's at the. That's why they say sometimes fresh or frozen vegetables and frozen fruits kind of have a little bit more benefits because they'll pull them a little bit more on the riper cycle, but then they immediately freeze them. So, but the best, the most nutrient efficient is right from the ripeness, right from the tree or whatever, from the bush, vine.
Yeah. Bush, vine, tree. But again, we live in these demonic times, so we gotta use certain techniques to survive.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't. Go ahead.
You want Genesis 1:29?
Yeah, 129.
Yep, this is Genesis 1:29 says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat."
Fruit. So that don't mean eat poison ivy. All right.
God.
It has a use. We may have forgot what use is it for, but it has a use. It may not be for eating. It may be topical. Maybe for something else. But fruit, seed. Read it again. Read the whole thing.
Yep. It says Genesis 1:29 says, and the power said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat."
For meat. That's when we were vegetarians. Then we have Leviticus 11th chapter. All right. It talks about clean and unclean animals. All right. Go ahead. Is there more?
Oh wait, yeah. Verse 30. "And every beast of the earth, and every fowl of the air, to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have also given every green herb for meat, and it was so."
Read it again for a second.
Genesis 1:29 says, "And power said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat."
That was 30?
That was 29. This is verse 30. "And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so.
All right. You know what I mean? That which is clean. All right. Now, what did you have, valuable?
Yeah, Leviticus 11 also.
What did you have before that? You had something before that?
Yeah, just a little bit of info on poison ivy. I mean, it has ecological value, even if it's bad for human skin. Yeah, so things like wildlife food, soil protection, habitat.
Yeah, it's a cycle. So
yeah.
Animals eat it, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it says possible. Well, yeah, native or ecosystem rule. In North America, it belongs in the natural food web. Removing all of it could reduce food sources for wildlife. So, has a use.
Yeah. So it has a use, yeah. So, yeah, and we lost like most of the knowledge of it, but we're going to get it back. We're going to get it back in the kingdom. The kingdom is going to bring us back the knowledge. And hey, during when the persecution increases, we get to that point, the Lord going to give us some of the knowledge back. All right. Oil going to be multiplied. The bread going to be. We're not going to have to worry about food if we're of the elect. All right. We're not going to have to worry about food. We don't need Esau's food. Yahushua can create it for us, like he did in the past with Yahushua himself and Elisha. And with Elijah, the ravens brought him food. We don't have to worry about eating Esau's so-called nutritional paste. It's soylent green. All right. So yeah, Leviticus 11. You want to say something?
I got something too. I'm not sure the factual of this, but it does say historical uses for poison ivy. It says indigenous people, including the Meskwaki, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi, reportedly use parts of the plant, such as for creating poultices, despite its irritating sap, which poultices is like a topical for inflammation. It's like a cloth that you make out of plant material.
Inflammation.
It says poultice is applied to the body to release soreness and inflammation, and kept in place with a cloth. So it says it was used for that despite its irritating sap.
All right, yeah, so it has a use.
Yeah.
I got some.
Which fucking these assholes that talk about marijuana, it's a plant, it's of the earth.
That's hybrid, genetically modified.
Yeah, and it's not a plant that's meant to be smoked either. Tobacco's the same way. Tobacco's a plant too, but then they put all those crazy chemicals in there, and then you're smoking it. It's not how tobacco is meant to be used.
So it's the coca plant.
Yeah,
smoking causes fucking cancer, right?
Yep. That's like saying freaking chicken is it's a animal that you can eat it. I'm not gonna inject fucking chicken meat into my bloodstream. Like that's not how you're supposed to ingest chicken. You're supposed to ingest fucking it, through your
right.
system this way. Just like you wouldn't ingest marijuana by smoking it.
Yeah, or even you got poisonous berries. You wouldn't just eat it.
Yeah, certain birds can eat those berries, poisonous berries.
Yep.
That might be high in cyanide or something like that. So, I'm sure it's a process you can take it through. I'm not sure, but a process you can take it through to make it edible or have some use to it. But you lost that knowledge. But you're gonna get it back. Now you gonna read Leviticus or?
Gone. It says Leviticus 11:1. And Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whosoever or whatsoever parteth the hoof is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as a camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he sheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he sheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
Now look up the word clean in that chapter. Clean. There's not. I don't believe the word is kosher. That's a different word. I don't think the word kosher is in the Bible. But you can fact check that if you want. But whatever word clean is there. I think I looked this up years ago. So the proper word would be clean. Technically not kosher. It may be an equivalent word, I'm not sure. But the word that's used in the scriptures, well, it tells you that Noah, when Noah said, is that get the account of Noah. It was clean and unclean. Because before Leviticus, Noah, it was 7 by 7 was for clean beast. The unclean was 2 by 2 or 1 by 1, something like that. So get that those facts and compare the words too. For clean, if they both show up, I believe the words both show up in Genesis and Leviticus. I believe the word clean is showing up. See what the words are. And compare them. So we gotta be in so the situation that we're in. What the scriptures tell you that though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. All right, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. All right, so that means death is right behind us. It's inside, depending on where the sun is. Death is all around us, 360 degrees. All right, the revolution of the sun. Go, you got it?
Gone. So it says, the Hebrew word is tahawar.
Tahawar, tahar, or tahawar, tahawar. Root is probably tahar, right?
Gone. Tahar.
Yeah, root, but tahawar there.
So it says,
Leviticus?
Leviticus, that's verse 37.
And that's tahawar. What's read the definition and go to what it says in the clean animals, unclean animals. The clean animals in Noah time.
Gone.
Might be the same word.
It says tahawar, so meaning pure. It also says, in a physical, chemical, ceremonial, or moral sense. So pure. It also says fair. Oh yeah, and another good definition, it says, clear, unmixed, unalloyed. So it also goes into other scriptures used as lab or lab tahawar, a pure heart. So it says in a Levitical sense, as opposed to unclean, polluted. It says hence applied to animals used in food.
All right. So no shrimp, no crabs. All right. They don't have fins or scales. All right. Now, what's the word in Genesis for clean?
Go.
Specifically, Noah's animals, the ark animals. Good.
It says Genesis 1 and 2, of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens. It says the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. So the Hebrew word is tahawar, meaning pure. It also goes into clear, opposite to filthy.
Opposite to filthy. Yeah. Now remember back then you had put always sick into this precept, into the search, always sick. Epaphroditus, or it might have been another Greek Israelite. One of Paul's writings. Is it that show up?
Not like that exactly.
No, not like that. I can't spell it. But it was a Israelite, a Greek Israelite that was sickly. Because he had spirits Ephesians says we wrestle not against the sixth chapter. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. You can put in convert name that starts with an E in the New Testament. Had a Greek-speaking Christian.
You said Epaphroditus, right?
Epaphroditus, yeah. Is that him? He was sick.
Yeah, I mean, let me just get it real quick.
I don't know if that was actually him, but I know he was one of the brothers, Greek-speaking Israelites that came back to the faith, that reverted back to the faith. And then we'll wrap up. Well, we got 21 minutes. So my point was that we back then you didn't have not organic foods. Everything came from like the earth, you know, and people were still getting sick. Right? People always got sick. Isaac started to lose his eyesight. But so Esau and Jacob said it's time to got to bury their father, so they had to bury Isaac.
Yeah, well,
Esau and Jacob buried Isaac.
The quality of life was, a lot longer. The longevity was there, oftentimes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
But the way life is, you have your youth, and then you wither away just like everything. Everything kind of has its seasons where it has its life, it's bigger, and then it withers away. It loses its value.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle, yeah.
We're designed to die.
Yep. But the thing is like freaking the way it was back then versus the way it is now. Yep. Exactly. But now now that there's a lot more, a lot more sickness, right? I mean, now we're and then with so-called modern medicine, you learn to live with a lot of the sickness that really you didn't have to freaking deal with back then, But there's a lot of sickness that we deal with on the day-to-day that wasn't probably a thing back then. But
remember that hunter they're talking about now on that ship.
Oh yeah.
They might do the same thing again, or it could just be just a ship. But I don't know if it's gonna work this time, because I don't know if it's gonna work.
Well, unless they want to use it as an uprising of the people, maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want more people, because I don't know if the people want to, I don't know, they're gonna probably fucking lash out. Everyone's
they might use it somewhat to bring in the implant.
Yeah.
That'd be better. Hopefully they do that. But and people getting sick on a cruise ship is not unusual.
Yeah, right.
Like this shit is like it's not amazing.
Yeah, I think they say
a bunch of people got sick on the ship.
Cruise ships are known for freaking having a crazy amount of sickness on them, actually. You get things like malaria and stuff like that, shit like that. You always have like digestive issues and stuff like that. Diarrheas and stuff. That's all stuff that you typically get on a fucking cruise ship.
Yeah, but they want to exaggerate and create stuff. That's Esau's part of Esau's witchcraft. You got it.
Mm-hmm. It says Philippians 2:25. It says, "Yet I suppose it necessary to send you," it says Epaphroditus, my brother, and companion in labor, and fellow soldier, but your messenger, and he that ministered to my wants. For he longed after you all, and was full of heaviness, because he had heard that he had been sick. For indeed he was sick nigh unto death, but the Most High had mercy on him. Not on him only, but on me also, lest I should have sorrow upon sorrow.
Yeah, so click on his name, it should probably give you the same description. You click on his name. Epaphroditus. Yeah, so he was sick. So that was with organic food. So he got spirits attacking him. Or he may have been eating only a certain type of food, but been lacking other like nutrition, and then that disease was able to invade his body, or he was just getting attacked by spirits, because spirits do make you sick.
Yep.
The scripture said we wrestle against not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. Go ahead, just give you a description.
Mm-hmm. It says, meaning, it says are lovely and associated with Paul in the ministry. So I guess when you go deeper, it says the name means belonging to Aphrodite or favored slash charming.
Aphrodite, goddess of love.
Yeah, Aphrodite, yeah.
But it doesn't tell you that about him being sick. It just tells you what it means.
Yeah, it just says and associated with Paul in the ministry.
See how Blue Letter fucks up? They could at least told you, because this is the only person that's mentioned like that, in that manner, all right? Amongst the Greek converts, the Israelites that reverted back to their natural state, all right? With the knowledge of Yahweh Shai. All right? So, Yahweh Shai gave us what to talk about medicines out of the earth, right? Prayer, right? Prayer above all.
Yep.
All right? And Yahweh Shai will give us the. And the thing is, you can choose to have your diet mainly consistent, and it's really about the pleasure factor. It's a theory about that we do everything for pleasure. I think Siegfried and Freud came up with this theory. Everything that men do is for pleasure or some type of woman or something like that. So whenever you're making choices, it's about pleasure or running from pleasure or running from pain, going toward pleasure. And when you make those choices, choose life. Okay, choose life. Especially, still doing that shit. 70%, they say 70% of American diets is like basically highly processed foods.
Yeah.
So you gotta start thinking about that. And when that sister catch up to you, you gotta like go to the tube. The tube can help you if you ignorant. It's gotta start before you eliminate, incorporate, because that's more sustainable. All right, before you eliminate, incorporate in large amounts. All right. Drinking juice, it's like 10% damn juice. It's fucking sugar. You're drinking sugar water. You drinking orange juice. You just it's chasing the pleasure. That's what it's about. A lot of people don't like to admit that. It's basically pleasure. You want to feel that pleasure, right? And part of your ignorance is you can feel that same pleasure with drinking 100% natural stuff, 100% squeezed, or eating the fruit.
Well, the thing is, it's like that dopamine, but that's why those chemicals, there's why there's chemicals in the foods and stuff like that, because it helps release that dopamine, easier or faster or more aggressively.
Coconut water.
That's why it becomes more addicting. That's why like sugar has that hit of dopamine and that hit of addiction. So it like the brother's saying, like that dopamine is that feel good response that gets released to your brain. So these chemicals that are in these foods help release that sooner or quicker,
more abundant.
Yeah, more abundantly.
You always have dopamine.
Yeah,
you need that. We can't have that. We can't live without it. We need dopamine.
Yeah,
it's part of our chemicals in our body. Yeah. When you release it in a certain frequency and a certain amount, it becomes not good for your body. All right, and you start to develop addictions.
Yep. Yeah. Dependency on it. Yep. Get withdrawals, all type of stuff.
Yeah, cravings. You'll be craving some freaking nasty ass food. I'm like, oh man, I need to really go for that right now. All those salts, sugars, chemicals and all that in the foods and stuff. I got that.
You are what you eat, so you gotta pay attention. All right, and they may try to roll out this diseases and drug programs again. Don't fall for it this time, all right? Esau Edom, he has the drugs ready to go. You got the propaganda ready to go. So pay attention.
It's
fiber, nutrients.
His devil's not dumb, yo. His devil's
his
devil's many steps ahead with this stuff. Nothing's coming of a surprise to this damn devil. He's fucking these all these viruses that are outbreaking and all this stuff that's happening. This is not of no surprise to the damn devil. He's already been thought about this. He's already been planning this out. He already has what he wants to do and enact and what he's going to enact out. The devil is not dumb. It talks about that in the scriptures. You know.
Thou art wiser than Daniel
Yep.
is one precept. That's in Ezekiel, right?
Yep. He says when he practices it, you know, because the power's in his hand. You know, he thinks about these things. He meditates about these things. It's also scripture to talk about the devil as a roaring lion seeketh whom he may devour. There's a constant thing he's seeking after, to devour the people, mainly devour the majority of our people. But in doing so, he's willing to take, you know, all the nations out.
Subjugate. Yeah, 'cause Esau, like we said earlier, he's ruling the world.
Yep.
Not Moab. 'Cause
Yep.
We looked at Esau's blessing, and it fits the description of the so-called white man.
Yeah.
Both in 2nd Ezra and in Genesis.
Yep.
And in Ezekiel, it fits Esau in the so-called white man.
Was to kill the population down to 500 million, anyways.
Oh yeah, that's what Guidestones. Georgia Guidestones.
500 million. 500 million, yeah.
$500 million.
Yep.
Georgia Guidestones. Now somebody blew them up a couple years ago, remember?
Oh yeah,
They blew them up. They had to take them down. So they were trying to hide it. There was no footage. They had a car driving away.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I
Yeah,
fucking remember that. Yeah.
Blew them up.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who put them there. Like, come on, who the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, that's how Esau, he can hide. He can lie that you didn't have a writing system. Well, he fucking destroyed your culture, replaced it with English and Spanish and Portuguese. He stole all your artifacts. It made you not even care about it. So when you were born, you just forgot. You never even knew.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't. Oh, because that's how I mentioned earlier. That's how Esau gauges whether you're a savage or not. If you don't have a writing system.
Right.
But they have no writing system.
And even if you said it was like a work of art that just kind of erected itself there, the damn devil still believes that. You look at Bill Gates and everything that he does, and all these other top elites that are out there. They ain't doing nothing to to seek after the benefit of man. They're only looking out to seek the benefit of themselves and basically keep the population down.
Yeah, like Rockefeller, he was an oil magnate, but then he got into pharmaceuticals, drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Oil. Same thing with the Gates guy, the MS-DOS thief.
Yep.
He got into medical stuff.
Yep.
He's a technology guy, right? And everything. So he's basically akin to J.G. Rockefeller, whatever his name is. He was an oil magnate, monopoly on oil. Then he got into medical stuff. All right, the MS-DOS thief. He got into medical stuff. All right, this is what these billionaires do.
Yep.
That's what these billionaires do because they control the system. They're the elite. They're the elite in Isaiah the 14th chapter. It talks about Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Whose works are in the dark. You say, who seeth us? All right, last few precepts. Figure out what you got.
That's it.
It says Sirach 30:14. Better is a poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
The poor being a strong constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Look up constitution. Where you at?
Sirach.
Sirach. Looked it up in the Greek. Being poor but a strong constitution. Let's get the you got an AI that get the Greek fast. They aren't wiser than Daniel, well, because Esau had the ability to put software together, to create software on off to bring information together very quickly. And aggregate, because AI is an aggregate of information. What?
Gone. So it says hexis. The Greek behind constitution is exis. It says meaning, condition, habit of body, physical state, stable disposition, bodily constitution. It comes from the verb echo, meaning to have, to hold. So it says
being small in body, or maybe referring to like possessions that you have, or your ego. It said the poor being small, have a small constitution. Instead of being proud, the brother's humble. All right. Go ahead.
It says hexis, the condition. So it says hexis means something like the condition a person has or holds steadily within themselves. In this verse, it refers to strong bodily health, durable physical condition, stable vigor. Not a constitution like a legal document, more like a sound physical makeup or a healthy bodily state.
All right. So it described it as small. All right, go back to the verse.
It says, Sirach 30 and 14, better is a poor being sound and strong in constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
All right, use the word strong constitution. Then rich. Yeah. So being poor but having good health, but being rich and having bad health. Yeah. So he's saying, so the moral is that it's money isn't everything. All right, money is nothing without your health. All right, money is nothing without your health. All right.
It says, verse 15.
Job was a good example. Job.
Right.
What?
Gone. It says Sirach 30 and 15. It says health and good estate. A body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he just said it, yeah. That's what it said. I know it said it, yeah. Same thing. Strong body. Right. Yeah, because if you complaining every day about stuff wrong with your eyes, your back hurt, your knees hurt, you know, it means less. You would want to pay more of what you have to get in good health.
Yeah. Hard issues.
But Satan himself said, heaps upon heaps. Give me that precept. All a man have will he give for his life. Satan told you that. Don't mean you should make Satan your teacher, but Satan told you the truth right there. All right? But Job wouldn't give it. In general, when like wicked men, they'll actually do that. They'll say, well, they'll do anything, you know, to even sell their soul. But if it's money, yeah, I can see it. If I can pay money, yeah, I'll pay the money. And there's no strings attached on the back end, yeah, then I'll pay the money. Because normally when Satan gives you stuff, there's strings attached to the back end.
Yep.
But if it was just a change of money, yeah, the normal person would just pay the money to be in good health. Mm-hmm. All right? But no strings attached on the back end.
I mean, sometimes it's just simply as fucking being in debt. You know, some of these medical treatments that can do you good come with a hefty price tag. You know, that puts you in debt to the medical industry.
You got it?
Go on.
Joe? Go. Finish what you got.
It says Sirach 30 and 16. It says, there's no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. It says death is better.
Sound means a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or it would be Greek there. It says death is better than a bitter life or a continual sickness.
Right. So in the hospitals make you keep you in their system. What? So they can continue to sell you their drugs. Right? When you take the herbs, it just reverts your body back to its natural state, which is peace, tranquility. That's your body's natural state. Go ahead.
It says Sirach 30 and 18. Delicates poured upon a mouth shut up, or messes of meat is set upon a grave. It says, what good doth the offering, or it says, what good doeth the offering unto an idol? For neither can it eat nor smell, so is he that is persecuted of the Lord. He seeth with his eyes and groaneth as a eunuch that embraceth aversion and sigheth. It says, give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. The gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. It says, love thine thine own soul, and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. Envy and wrath shorn the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. So there you go.
All right, next precept.
So this is the book of Job 2 and 3. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth Yahweh and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yeah, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Which was not true. Job didn't curse the Most High at all. All right. But the first part was true. Yeah. When it comes to like exchanging money for your life, they would. Yeah. In general, yeah, a person would do that. They to be in good health is the best state to be in good health. All right. Because money doesn't mean anything if you're not in good health. It means less. Being in good health that's why when we get to the kingdom, there's going to be no sickness whatsoever. The kingdom of heaven is going to be no sickness amongst the Israelites whatsoever. Clean, absolutely pure, clean. That was it there. You have precept you want to bring out?
I got one. This is real quick. Sirach 38:4. Let me jump down. It says, Yahweh hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Verse 14, jumping down, it says, for they shall also pray unto the Lord, that he will prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. Look at that. To prolong life. And it's part of the prayers too. So it's not only the herbs and out of the earth that are medicine, but the prayer as well.
Anybody got $1 so you can get something to eat?
I got no cash on me, sir.
No way you can get something to eat?
No, we don't.
Yep.
Get Jeremiah 50 and 6th verse.
Oh, here we go. Actually, I'll read verse 9. Slug here. It says, Ecclesiastes or Sirach 38 and 9 says, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto Yahweh, and he will make thee whole. Leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. There you go.
Cleanse the heart from all wickedness.
Yeah, because oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes you might be sick because of, maybe past wickedness, current wickedness, right? So, you got to cleanse yourself, be, prayer, don't add sin unto sin, right? Seek after righteousness, and, pray out to the Lord that he deliver you from the sickness or whatever you might be going through, as well as seek herbs.
Sometimes you're sick for the sake of the Lord to heal you.
You
could have done nothing.
Yeah, but
or you've already paid for your sins, but this sickness is so the Lord can heal you.
But the thing is, what's not going to happen is the Lord is not going to heal you if if you start being wicked, in your sickness. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people oftentimes do. That when they're down bad, they seek out options that are the fastest way out. And it could be an option of wickedness. That's why the RFID CHIP is going to be so, how can you say? It's going to be so sought after amongst the people, because they're probably going to be in a down state, and it's going to be something that is of a good substance, of a good thing to have. Who knows? I also got another precept too. You could bring
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 50 and 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
Yeah, that's different gods, different religions. right? The children of Israel, our ancestors, and us. Right? We came back to the Father and to Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh Shai. So that's an example of the children of Israel being the lost sheep. When the scriptures speak about the lost sheep, it's referring to the children of Israel, not referring to everybody on earth. It's referring to the Israelites scattered throughout the world. All right? In the doctrines, which is the teachings of the different nations' religions. All right? And as evangelists, prophets, we're to preach, and if they are of the elect, they're going to come back to the fold. All right, did you found what you got?
Yeah, I guess I'll make it real quick. This is Sirach 11 and 25. This is because it said something you said earlier about, you know, when you're sick, you know, you just want to get, you know, healthy again. The Sirach 11:25 says, "In the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction. In the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity."
That was the scripture?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, read it, say it again.
So Sirach 11:25 says, "In the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction. In the day of affliction there is no remembrance of prosperity." Affliction can come in many ways, but being afflicted through sickness, you know, especially when you're in a serious sickness, you know, you're not really thinking about, you know, the prosperity. You're thinking about how, you know, how can I get better? You know, you're thinking about how down you are. You know, and it's on the opposite. That's why that's that saying, like, normalcy bias. Like, when you're whole and you're feeling great, like, you don't really think about affliction. You don't really think about the things that you would lose or the things that could happen to you, because you're just so living in your pleasures, you're living in your prosperity. You know, so. And when that sickness comes, man, like, how many brothers be sick? They be thinking, man, I gotta fucking wait till I feel better. Like, you know, like, when I don't got this congestion no more, I don't got this terrible cough no more, I don't got this massive headache no more. You know, all you're thinking about is that, you know, trying to be, you know, whole again. You know.
All right, we'll wrap it up here. All right, Shalawam. See you next week.
Shalom.